it's Pete Davis from Invalids. This is a video explicitly explaining how I program my drums for Invalids recordings. Because somebody might be trying to do something similar and it could help them, and B, because that's the most frequent question I'm ever asked is how do you program your drums? So it all starts with a program called Tabit, where I write everything, which I have right here. It's a MIDI sequencing program that has an interface to look like tablature. Guitars up here, we have a drum bass track and a drum track on the bottom. Now we can't really talk about Tabit without talking about MIDI. So a quick crash course on MIDI, if you're unfamiliar with it, it stands for Multi-Instrumental Digital Interface. It's essentially a system of numerical data that is read by a computer that allows it to produce sounds based on that data. So it's things like, what instrument it's supposed to sound like, what the note identity is, like A, B, C sharp, whatever, when the note is supposed to start, how long it's played, when it terminates, what the velocity is, which is the volume or how hard the note is played, stuff like that. So you sequence this MIDI data in a program like Tabit, and the computer plays something back for you. Now, if we look at the drum track here, these are not notes, they're actually numbers, and these are sort of the note identities based on MIDI numbers. MIDI numbers range from 0 to 127. So here we have, say, 35, that's a kick drum, 36 is another kick drum, 38 and 40 are different snares, and then the higher up stuff is like hi-hats and rides and various things. We could, we don't have to put zeros here, we could put a 1 and get 39, we could put like a 3 up here and get 45, okay? These will make different drums. This is mapped to general MIDI. That's sort of like the universal, across a bunch of computer systems and stuff like that. It's the universal mapping of the general MIDI. So with that out of the way, this is where I start. This is where I write all of my parts. And so let's listen to this this drum track. This is from Ursine Valor, a fun song from my first LP, Unoya, that had some cool drums, so I figured that would be a good way to showcase the Invalids method. So here's what the part sounds like. Now, hopefully you'll notice and agree that it doesn't sound that robotic. It kind of has a human element to it, and really the number one thing for that is varying velocities or varying volumes. Because when a human is actually playing the drums, they're not hitting all the drums at the same volume, like they're not hitting them the equal strength every time. There are a lot of like sort of quieter parts in between, and like the beats are stressed and stuff like that, especially in fills. So two ways to kind of counteract the very robotic constant volume is, number one, within Tabit, while writing the part, I like to double up on things like the kick and the snare because they're the most important drums. So 35 and 36 I have as snare drums, or as kick drums, and here I have snare drums 38 and 40. Now, having two allows me to, I can use one and make it soft. I can use both and it hits really hard. I can, within Tabit, there's the functionality of using parentheses, which decreases the velocity or the volume of that specific note by 10 units. So that makes it softer. And so you can use a combination of, doubling up and using these parentheses to really get some good grooves and sort of change your fills to kind of highlight things. So if you think about a fill that's, say, 8 notes long, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When a human plays it, they're not all the same. It's not like It's either, you can kind of accent every eighth note to sound like 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, it's still 8, but it's alternating. Or you could do something like, which kind of it incorporates a tresillo or something, but you change the velocities to kind of map that out. So that's sort of where it starts, and from here I export it and play with the MIDI tracks, and we'll explore that later.